Hi guys, Lemmy here. Welcome back to another art video. Today we are doing a review of Sakura's new product, the Micron PN. And if you're all wondering what PN stands for, it stands for Plastic Nib. So while the casing or the barrel looks the same as the other Microns, the nib is a plastic nib. So that's what makes it different from a normal Micron. So I'm going to read what the packaging says about the product because I always say in my reviews that it's important to me that the packaging reflects what you're getting so that you're not buying something thinking you're getting one thing and then getting another. This is what the package says. For everyday writing, durable, flexible nib for fine to medium line widths. Archival quality ink is waterproof, chemical, and fade resistant, bleed free, quick drying, and pH neutral. The first thing that I noticed when I got this was that they came in an assortment of colors. So those colors are black, red, blue, blue-black, sepia, rose, burgundy, and purple. I kind of want to talk a little bit about how this is good for everyday writing because that's what the packaging seemed to have focused on. The nib is plastic, it's flexible, so depending on how much force you put down, how much pressure you put down on your pen nib, you will get thicker or thinner lines. So in this regard, think of it like a brush pen, but you have a lot more control over it, and it's the perfect size for writing in a notebook. So with that being said, when I make an art piece, this isn't going to be something that I would use for a really large piece. I would probably fall back onto some other Microns that I have, like the 08 for something really big, or the Micron Graphic, or the brush pen, or the brush pen set, you know. But this is really cool because when you think about how people write and how they put more pressure and less pressure down, this will give you those thinner and thicker lines to make your writing look really awesome. Because they do have these really nice samples of writing in this packet that they sent me, which obviously you guys can't see because a normal person wouldn't get it. But I understand that this is for writers, but that doesn't mean that artists can't use this. I absolutely love my Microns. They have Pigma ink, which is archival. It's waterproof, fade-proof, you know, everything that I look for in a liner, and I don't have any problems with them ever. They always last me a really long time, and I absolutely adore them. So one thing I also noticed about Sakura is that they package their pens differently. They always use the same archival ink because it's extremely popular. It is archival, it's reliable. In many years it will still be there, so a lot of people use them, including museums and things like that. I really love their ink, and it's really nice that they package them differently for different uses. For example, they have the Micron set, which has a whole bunch of different size nibs. And this is the traditional one that we think about when we think of Micron. Then they came out with the Pigma Sensei line, which is different barrels and different nibs. And those have a totally different feel to handling them than you would a Micron, but it has the same ink in it. So when I see people that are like, oh, I really like these pens, do you have any other suggestion for other pens, like the Microns? I always say, well, try the Pigma Sensei and see if you like them more, because I really enjoy using the Pigma Sensei, and I also enjoy the Microns, but they feel totally different. Then they have the Pigma brush pens, which comes in a similar barrel to the Microns. You know, that kind of beigey color. But then they came out with a professional brush pen set that has 3 different size brush pen nibs, and they're really super duper user friendly. So whenever someone asks me about brush pens, I ask, have you used them before? If not, definitely try out the professional brush pen set because they make lining with a brush pen extremely enjoyable, and then you don't have to stress so much. So that's a really fun product that they made. But now they came out with the Micron PN, which I really love. It's sort of like a brush pen where you can get thicker and thinner line widths, but the thing is, because it's a plastic nib, you don't get as thick or as thin. Like, there's a certain limit. So when you're looking at it compared to a brush pen, there's limitations to it, which also gives you a whole lot more control over the product that you're using. Sometimes there's a little bit of unpredictability when you're using a brush pen, but you don't have that at all when you're using the Micron PN. It's similar to a brush pen, but it's not. And I have trouble explaining this to people because they'll say, oh, just use a brush pen, but it's really so much more precise, and it's really comfortable because the nib will bend with you and the pressure, so it's really, really comfortable to use, and it has a totally different feel. So I love that they made this in an assortment of colors. But with that being said, they only come in one size. So it says approximately 0.45 millimeters. And you'll get about 0.4 to 0.5 depending on what the pressure is that you're using it. So this won't be your go-to for all your artwork if you are drawing something larger or something smaller. I think that this can replace like a whole bunch of Micron pens in your set of Microns, like the original ones, but you're still, if you want to work larger, you're still gonna need your 08 or your 1 or something, because if you're going to spend all day trying to fill in such thick lines with one pen, you're gonna waste all the ink in it. Or if you want to get super duper detail, you're still gonna need your 005 to get in there. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. So how I look at this is that because it's the same ink as the other pens that they have, you can look at the, let's say, the rose pink Micron PN. That will work with all your rose pink Microns that have the different size nibs. So they're compatible with your normal Microns because it's all the same ink, it's all the same colors, and they don't stray from what the colors are from the pens. So I absolutely love this pen. And I was kind of looking at it like, oh, well, I don't really need pens because I have like all these different kinds of pens. But now that I've tried them, I actually I love them and I want to buy more of them. Like, they're really good for, let's say you have an on-the-go sketchbook, right? And it's like one of those smaller ones that you put in a purse, or if you're a guy, you have a man purse, or you just take it with you or whatever. It's the pen that you would take with that small sketchbook to complete finished pictures in that sketchbook that take up the whole page. Is it good for, let's say, hey, I want to make a poster? No, probably not. Like, you would probably maybe use that specific pen for the tiniest details in a poster artwork. But for on the go, this would be the one pen that I would take with me that could do everything that I wanted to in a small sketchbook comfortably. They're really enjoyable to use. So if you like Micron pens or the Pigma Sensei or their brush pen set or their normal brush pens or any of the Sakura pen products, you should totally give this a try because I'm a huge fan of Sakura. I think that they're really great people. They obviously listen to what their fans want from them because they created this, and I don't have anything to really say that's bad, except you have to kind of judge if you want to use one specific pen for an entire picture. You just need to judge how big you're going to be working, and that's pretty much it. You could use one pen to make an entire picture if you judge that properly. You know, and if you want to work a little bit smaller, then you might take the PN and then a 005 and make a picture that way. Or if you want to work a little bit larger, you would take the PN and you would also take like a 08 or something and then use two pens. But it really kind of condenses down what I would need for inking one picture. So I absolutely love this pen. It's like a more precise brush pen sort of thing, less line width, more predictability though, and I love it. Yeah, I don't have anything negative to say. Also, so I ended up finishing the picture because I really love the lines so much, and I was like, I want to color it in. So you'll see at the very end that I color in the picture. Big thank you to Sakura of America for giving me these pens to try out. I absolutely love them, and you were very generous, so thank you for sharing with me. And I'll see you guys again next week for an art video. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon. Bye!